The socks for today are my Indecisions by Adrienne Fong, Belly Button Knits on Ravelry. I showed socks from her earlier this Vlogmas. She passed away a few years ago, but all her sock patterns are available for free on Ravelry. And the yarn is Wol met Verve After 8 Candy. And this pair of socks, the name Indecisions, is because you had a lot of choices and a lot of options while knitting. You could choose what kind of cuff you wanted. I think the pattern was also something that gave several options. It was a really nice pair to knit. I started it on August 5, 2017, and I finished them on August 11, 2017. The pattern has 585 project pages and is in 143 queues. It was a nice pair to knit. Good morning, good morning. Today is Saturday, December 21st, and it is 9 a.m., 9:03 to be precisely. Rob is out running errands, and when he comes back, he will probably beat me to it. He brings home a lot of stuff that needs to go in the freezer. So then I have to do some packing, and so I don't know if I will be done with recording the vlog. This might happen in parts. Anyways, the thought for today is knitting keeps me from unravelling. Knitting keeps me from unravelling. Well, that is definitely true. When I am stressed or busy or tired or just unwell in some way, the best gift I can give myself is sit and knit. And of course, when I'm stressing, I kind of don't come up with the plan to sit and knit, but I really should, because if I do for like an hour, or half an hour even, that brings my mind at ease, it brings my nerves at ease, it clears whatever mess is going around in my head, and then I can just go back to what I was doing and feel so much better. But when I'm really busy, I need Rob, for example, to tell me, go sit and knit for a while. Do you recognize that? Do you have that too? Does knitting keep you from unraveling? I think it's the case for most knitters. I think so. Anyways, yesterday, the thought of the day was, in a world full of trends, I want to be a classic, like hand knits. And I immediately thought I should have worn my cardigan that my grandma knitted for me. So I took it out. I think I showed it last year in Vlogmas as well. Then it didn't fit me yet, but now it does. And I'm kind of confused about that, because I can't imagine. I think I got this cardigan. Yeah, I was trying to figure out when my grandma gifted it to me. I think in my teenage years. But it might be, I don't know, it might be when I was a mom already. It might be 10 years later. But, well, it can both be. I will stand up for a while. This is a cardigan by, this was in a magazine. And it has all these beautiful are they called anemones in English as well? And my grandma, of course, was a knitter that knitted the back, the left front, the left sleeve, the right sleeve. Then she had to sew it together and then she embroidered it. So that was a massive amount of work. Let me see if the flower is called the same. Yes, anemone, a small plant in the buttercup family which has flowers shaped like cups. Okay, so the word is also anemone, only spelled differently. My grandma was a very monogamous knitter, so she had this finished in no time. It has these cable details on the cuffs and on the button band, and yeah, well, it's just so pretty. It is also knitted on a pretty tight gauge, as you can see. I don't think this is wool, but I would not know. When I showed it last year, or maybe just in some vlog, I told the Dutch viewers that I was kind of feeling sorry that I did not have the pattern anymore. And it took one of the Dutch knitters just a few days to trace it down in a special Facebook group. So I do have the pattern. Not as much that I want to knit it, but more like it is so nice to have the pattern. It's currently, I lend it to another knitter, but she will send it back when she is finished with it. Let me see, we also have a favorite of the day. And the favorite of the day is about playing around with your needles. If you use a circular set with interchangeable tips, you could, for example, choose your gauge needle for your right hand and a smaller needle for your left hand, because the gauge needle is important. That determines the amount of yarn that it costs to wrap around the needle and form a stitch. But your left hand needle is just the parking spot for all your knitting stitches. So if you use a smaller needle on the left side, the sliding the stitches to your needle tip will go much easier. So that is something you can do with interchangeable needles. But you can also adapt your needle size to the circumference that you need. Like, for example, I did in my muscle burrow. I started this on another needle to do the start on magic loop, because this needle is just too short to magic loop. If I pull my needle out, I can't make the turn, I can't pivot around and bring, I can bring the needle tips together, but if I also want to reach my stitches, I would really have to pull really hard, and then this connection might break, so I don't want that. So I started this on a needle to do magic loop, but once I had enough fabric, I changed to this length of needle, so now my stitches are all on the needle and I can just knit, knit, knit. You do need a very clear beginning of round marker, because if you have all your stitches on your needle, you can't see where the start of your knitting is. I didn't think I knit on this, but as you can see, my gingerbread house is here. So I did maybe around 5 or 6 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. So I'm going to move the stitch marker up now. This is most of the time in my handbag, in my cute little Christmas project bag, because it's nice and small and I can bring it wherever I go. I brought it out to dinner yesterday, but I did not knit. That doesn't happen very often. Most of the time when I'm in a restaurant for coffee or something to eat, I do knit, but okay. I need to look up the word for another flower. Oh, that's also the same word. Amaryllis. I got 3 amarylli this week. And I got this one with just the roots out and about, but I'm supposed to let this just lie around and it will start to bloom automatically. No need to do anything. It does look kind of dry up here. As you can see, and there is not any fresh green to spot, but it is a fresh and very much alive bulb. So we will just keep that until it feels it's time to bloom. But I got another one from a knitter. Look how cute. This one is immersed in wax or something, and then they rolled it around in lavender, dried lavender. So this smells so nice and it looks so nice. So that was my second amaryllis I got this week. And then yesterday someone brought me this. Look how nice. It is so beautiful. So apparently I am channeling amaryllis. Okay, I have been a very good monogamous knitter yesterday. I had a visitor in the morning, a knitter, so we did knit, and I knitted on the September crawl shawl for the entire day. This is how far I got. You see the sunflower there. That was the last time you saw it. And yesterday evening I did a little more knitting after we came back from our dinner. And I have decided that I am at the halfway point now. I put it on my texture time, the shawl I was wearing yesterday. And if I wear my texture time over my shoulders, the wings reach my knees. And I know that that is a nice length to wrap around and to tie a knot. So I decided that I am at the halfway point. So now the only thing I have to do is decrease my way back to the other end. And this is such a lovely knit. I am surprised. I've never knitted with a yarn like this. And I was wondering how far the yarn would bring me, right? I wanted to use one skein for my way in and one skein for my way out, but it didn't seem to go anywhere. Well, by now, as you can see, it is going anywhere. It is going somewhere. I weighed this yesterday and I have 25 grams left. So, calculating it, that would mean that I will finish this shawl with 50 grams to spare. So that might be a nice hat. But I'm very pleased with how this is working out and how much yarn it's using. I hope to knit on this again. I am in the middle of a stockinette section. No, that's not true. I am in a quarter of a stockinette section. So I'm going to work my way to the middle of this stockinette section. That is just 8 more rows, and I will call that my halfway point. And then I will start decreasing my way back to the other end. So, yeah, to be continued. I have been pulling out mouwen again. I am frogging this one sleeve cap because this was not what I had planned for this sweater. I do have very nice fluffy yarn for the sleeve caps. I already dyed it up in my Where's My Martini. So I need to frog this sleeve cap, knit on a new one. I have to knit the body, I have to knit the other sleeve. So there's still much to do. But I somehow lost my knitting needle. It's not in the bag, this pretty bag. Knitting in progress, please do not disturb. It's not in here. And it's not in the notions pouch that comes with this bag either. So I have to find out where my needle is. I will do that later. And I calculated my swatch for my Christmas Eve cast on. I decided to go for the 3.5mm needle. That gives me the nicest fabric, I think. And I am in between 21 and 22 stitches on 10 centimeters, on 4 inches. The designer is on 25 stitches. She recommends measuring your hip width to calculate which size you are going to make. So I did. My hip width is 121 centimeters, and according to the pattern, that would give me size XL to knit. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sizes from XS to 3XL. And I would be in XL. That has 122 centimeters. That would mean only 1 centimeter of positive ease. She recommends 0 to 5 centimeters, so 0 to 2 inch positive ease. But I used the 122 centimeter to calculate my gauge to the size I need to knit. So I made 2 calculations with 22 stitches and 21 stitches because I'm right in the middle. I did 122 centimeters times 22, which is my gauge, divided by 25, which is the designer's gauge. So 122 times 22 divided by 25. That gives me 107 centimeters. If I do the same calculation with 21 stitches, 122 times 21 divided by 25, it gives me 102.48 centimeters. And that brings me to the M1, which is 102, and the M2, which is 109. So I'm going to go with size M2. That should give me a beautiful fitted garment. I have to keep an eye on the length because I did not calculate that, but for the width I am quite okay. So I can make my project page for my autumn square, and I can, as soon as it as soon as it is Christmas Eve, and Christmas Eve is for me is the day of the 24th. It has nothing to do with the time after 6 p.m. Christmas Eve, 24th of December, is Christmas Eve, period. So as soon as I'm up, I am allowed to start my autumn square. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. For now, I would say happy making and have a nice day. Enjoy what you do. Bye bye.